may be seated.
Played like twice as than they should do.
Well, as we begin our much anticipated event today, I'd like to take an opportunity to thank a number of people who have contributed to making this a very memorable ceremony. Please join me in thanking Commander Guile of the NJROTC Color Guard for their presentations of the colors, for Mr. Craig Schell and Ms. Leslie Moffat in the direction of our choir, orchestra, and band for leading us in the national anthem for the musical performance. I'd like to introduce the people on stage with me here this afternoon. Graduates, they have also been here to support you as you have moved through our school district to graduation. Please welcome our school board president, Caroline Mason, our school board vice president, Carol Andrews, our school board legislative representative, Dr. Tracy Mitchell, and school board member Pamela Salmon. Please also join me in welcoming our superintendent, Dr. Gary Cohn. Please also welcome Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, Mr. Larry Fleckenstein, and Associate Superintendent for Curriculum Assessments and Special Programs, Dr. Peter Scott. I'd also like to acknowledge our assistant principals, Michelle Renee, Blythe Young, Nikki Casara, and Sean Monahan. Thank you all for being here this evening and for your support and encouragement of each of our students. I would like to ask that our senior class advisor, Ms. Lauren Dandridge, to please stand and be recognized for all that you've done for the senior class. And would Nicole Anderson please stand and be recognized for allowing us to use her incredible artwork that is displayed on the cover of our graduation program. And I would like to acknowledge and sincerely thank Sakud Al-Mansuri, Neelam Sidhu, Marianne Allen, Stephanie Kushin, Jennifer Hastings, Jean Sarcletti, Deanne Williamson, Lori Wirtz, Jen Linder, and Melissa Long, who each spent hours helping to organize this graduation ceremony. And finally, I need to acknowledge and thank the more than 60 Jackson staff members who have volunteered their time to participate in today's graduation ceremony. Wherever you are throughout the auditorium, would you please stand and to be recognized? Well, the class of 2018 is an incredible group. Your list of accomplishments is long, and when I tell you that you have made us proud, I am including the current Timberwolf family, your former middle and elementary teachers, the district staff and school board members, and your family and friends. But this also includes the Jackson alumni who have come before you, some of whom are here supporting you even today. In so many different ways, you have embodied the characteristics of the Jackson way of pride, excellence, and character. Here's some examples I'd like to briefly share. With more than 500 of you, this is the largest senior class in Jackson history. And for some historical trivia, you are the first class of students who were born in the 21st century. The class of 2018 has 4 sets of twins and 1 set of quadruplets. And you've collectively taken more advanced placement classes and college prep courses than any other class before you. You're the second senior class in Jackson history to crack the 3.0 mark for overall average GPA, and you hold the new record at 3.09. In addition, 117 of you received the Washington State Honors Award, which means that based on SAT and ACT scores and GPA, 23% of the class finished in the top 10% of the state. Every one of our athletic teams had postseason appearances this year, of which a number of you in the senior class are members. And among you, we have state title winners in girls swim, boys track, and softball. You've also been part of state, regional, and national placings in FCCLA, DECA, TSA, band, choir, and orchestra. And how about our robotics team finishing second in the world? So seniors, congratulations. You are graduating from Henry M. Jackson High School. I have been truly inspired by the class of 2018, and I've appreciated all that we've done together to keep this Timberwolf spirit alive and the positive momentum of success moving forward. Well, one winter after the holidays, several years ago, I drove our family minivan to the Waste Management transfer station. When I got there, the line of cars had wrapped around the block. We were getting ready to leave for a trip, and all our garbage cans at home were already full. So after waiting my turn for almost 30 minutes, I finally made it to the front. If you've never been to one of these places before, they weigh your vehicle before and after to determine your disposal fee. Well, trying to be efficient, as soon as the car ahead of me drove off the scale, I drove on. But the lady in the booth looked at me in disgust, shaking her head. She told me I was supposed to wait for the green light for the scales to reset. But an eighth of a mile worth of cars had already pulled up behind me. We had to wave them back, inches at a time. Until finally, I had enough room to get off the scale. And I remember thinking, just get me out of here. She reset it. My eye was fixed on that light, and the instant it turned green, I hit the gas. But then I experienced a bizarre sensation as the van lurched backward, and bam! Still in reverse, I smashed into the truck behind me. In my rearview mirror, I could see the driver practically straining her eyes as she rolled them. I wondered how I could ever look at myself the same, how long it would take to recover from this excruciating embarrassment. We all have stories though, right? My brother who lives in Germany just told us last month his 7-year-old son got a hold of his cell phone while he was taking a nap and ordered $10,000 worth of Pokemon cards off of Amazon. They were fortunately able to cancel all but $130 worth because those were already shipped and on their way to Grandma and Grandpa in the States. So I've shared these stories for us to laugh at. And as you move through your life, you'll continue to collect memorable stories as well. But as you're aware, because you've already experienced, some stories are just not funny. Sometimes you may bring unfortunate circumstances upon yourself. And sometimes others will do this for you. And sometimes things will happen where no one is to blame. You may have on your future plate things that will give you every reason to shut down. We worked very hard to help you learn to be successful, and here you are today. We've shared a tremendously successful year together at Jackson. But as Timberwolves, we've also experienced more than our share of tragedy as well. And I've observed, though, how you've come together as a class, and how we've come together as a school. And there's a term that describes what's behind this. Resilience is the ability to bounce back when you have every reason to shut down, but you fight on. Resilient people have both tapped and untapped reserves, enabling them to overcome and thrive as they face setbacks, challenges, and the fears of daily life. The number one ingredient you need to have to be resilient is suffering. When you have every reason to shut down, what are you tapping into? Christian Moore, the author of The Resilience Breakthrough, says that the problem is when you see the problem as the problem. The real issue is not being able to use the difficulty as a resource. There may be few perspectives more powerful than the ability to see your problem as your best friend. You'll have a huge resilience advantage if you tap into both your positive and negative emotions. You'll have a huge disadvantage if you can only tap into your positive emotions. But it's not the emotions that are really important, they're a resource to fuel a productive outcome. It's not natural to create a productive outcome out of negative emotions. It's a learned skill. And what's exciting about this is that you can learn how to do this. All emotion is energy, but if you have the ability to create a productive outcome, you have a tremendous advantage. Seahawk Tyler Lockett, during his rookie season a couple years ago, played a home game versus the Chicago Bears on his birthday, and as a gift, he received a beautiful 40-yard pass in the end zone from Russell Wilson, but he dropped it. He was asked about this during an interview at the end of the game. What would you say? It's your rookie season, on your birthday, and you've dropped a touchdown pass in front of millions of people. Tyler Lockett said, "I'm glad it happened because it's something I can always look back on and will be able to work on in practice and get better." He's glad it happened. I believe we should continue to switch our emphasis on teaching students just how to be successful to teaching them how to be resilient. Because resilience transcends success, which is fleeting, while there will always be problems to work through. Resilience is the great equalizer. Negative emotion, in fact, is far more powerful to fuel resilience. Remember, you have to have something to bounce back from. When you think of a match, it just takes a small puff to blow it out. But a bonfire, if you blow on that, the flames get much bigger, right? We want to be the big enough flame that seeks the wind. Human beings have the ability to flip the switch under the most unbelievable situations. We can't likely find a situation where a human being hasn't flipped the switch. How can I use this problem as my best friend? How can I convert this pain and frustration into fuel? Out of fear can come strength, survival, readiness. Fear does not have to be a horrible thing if you can create a productive outcome with it. But if I use my fear to hurt myself or others, well, there's whole industries ready to capitalize on that. I still may have that hurt, but I have to take it and learn how to turn it into a productive outcome. In his book, The One Thing, Gary Keller recounts a tale of an elder Cherokee who told his grandson about a battle that goes on inside all people. He said, "The battle is between two wolves inside us. One wolf is fear. The other is faith. Fear carries anxiety, concern, uncertainty, hesitancy, indecision, and inaction. Faith brings calm, conviction, confidence, enthusiasm, decisiveness, excitement, and action." The grandfather thought about this for a moment and then asked his grandfather, "Well, which wolf wins?" The old Cherokee replied, "The one you feed." Keller later states that limits, like fears, are often just an illusion. But when you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. It is our mission at Jackson High School and in the Everett Public Schools that you all graduate college, career, and life ready. The entire Timberwolf staff are hopeful that we have helped you to learn how to learn, and that we have instilled a hunger in you to continue to learn throughout your lives. That you have furthered your development of a growth mindset rather than a fixed one. viewing failure as another step closer to getting it right, and celebrating what it can teach you. That you embrace challenges with grit and resilience, and that you view your life not only through the lens of gratefulness, seeing your glass not just as half full, but overflowing with blessings all around you because of, and in spite of, your circumstances. And even though you're leaving, please know that we are always here for you. As classmates, this is the last time that you will all be together again in the same place. Who are you grateful for? Make sure to tell them. And although this is truly your accomplishment that we are celebrating today, none of you made it here all on your own. Your parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, siblings, for them, this is also a big moment. So make sure to hug them, to thank them, and to remind yourself to never take them for granted. As I've said earlier, you are a very special senior class. I have mixed emotions this afternoon because I am very excited for you, but I will miss you. I'm so grateful for the opportunity I've had to get to know you, and I wish you the very best in your bright futures ahead. Congratulations.